Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is go through a book, and the book is entitled Do It Afraid. This book was published on the 22nd of September 2020 by an author named Joyce, Meyer. And Joyce basically says and reminds us that fear is the devil's favourite tool in the toolbox of schemes that he uses to destroy God's good plan for us. He uses it to hold one back and prevent progress in one's relationships, career, and basically every other aspect of one's life. In this book, Do It Afraid, Joyce Meyer explains that fear is everywhere, and fear basically affects everybody in different ways, and it rules many people, but it doesn't have to rule you and the ones who are Christian and have faith any longer. Joyce Meyer teaches us how to firstly understand fear and recognize how it potentially works in your life, teaches how to confront these fears that are holding us back, and helps teach us how to change our mindsets for lasting freedom from some of the most common fears that people face. As we said, fears that are irrational, fears that are inherited from others, fears that just don't stack up, and yet these fears hold lots of people back from living a full and complete life. So let's keep on going and see what more we can glean from this book. So Joyce, in her wisdom, emphasizes that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward, to move on, to do the things that you need to do in your life, despite of the fears that we may have. Meyer provides a faith-based approach to overcoming fear using biblical principles, personal experiences, and practical strategies to encourage readers to trust in God's plan and step into their purpose and their calling with confidence and competence. So let's step through some of the lessons from this book and see how we can use it and how it can guide us. So the first key message to come from this author is that fear is inevitable but doesn't have to control you. Everyone, as we mentioned before, experiences fear, but the key is to acknowledge it and take action despite it. fear should not dictate our decisions in any way, shape, or form. The next point that comes from this author is where the author reminds us that faith is the antidote to fear. Some people talk about action being the antidote for fear, but I actually like this a little bit better, that faith is indeed the real antidote to fear. Trusting in God's plan, according to this author, helps one overcome fear and step into the unknown with the necessary confidence needed in order to generate outcomes and to live one's calling. When it's all said and done, it's faith that gives you the strength to take the risks. Faith is what's required to enable you to assess and to weigh up the calculated risks. And we must once again remind ourselves that faith is the energy, is the drive, is the element that we need to give us the strength in order to address and take risks in the first place. Because courage is moving forward in the presence of fear. If there wasn't any fear, then you wouldn't need any courage. You don't have to wait until you feel fearless to take action. True courage is taking steps even when you feel afraid. This is a big point. So even that you're feeling afraid, true courage, the real courage, is when you take the steps even when you feel afraid. And we need to also understand how our minds work. Your mindset is what actually creates your reality. And fearful thoughts create fearful actions. So how do we address this? Shifting one's mindset to one of faith, hope, and positivity helps one break free from the strangling grip of fear. How do we do it? How do we break free? We simply need to take small steps that eventually lead to big outcomes and big breakthroughs. Overcoming fear doesn't require huge leaps of faith. All it needs, according to this author, is consistent small steps, bold steps that will build confidence and lead to lasting change. When it's all said and done, God has given you everything you need to overcome fear. And Meyer emphasizes that God equips us with strength, wisdom, and courage, as well as the Holy Spirit. We simply need to trust and to act on His guidance, knowing that fear will always be present, but you have a choice. You can choose faith over fear. You can choose action over fear. And fear may never completely disappear, but with faith and with perseverance, you can choose to act despite of it and live a more fulfilled life. So in summary, hopefully by embracing these lessons, the lessons that we've been gifted from this book, Do It Afraid, will hopefully encourage readers to push well past their fears and step into their divine purpose and live with boldness and with faith, and to fully express their calling and to serve God with all their heart, mind and soul, and to do the things that are God-pleasing, and of course to love their neighbour as they love themselves, and neighbours also include our enemies. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and I look forward to chatting to you again real soon from another place and with another message of empowerment. Yassas, take care, and bye for now.